Hey, Chris DeLeon here. I've checked into a new location in the days leading up to our Saturday wedding. The message today has to do with, it's like I said the other day, there's a lot of value in freeing up time by telling yourself, it can be internal, I don't need to weigh in on this, on whatever the argument of the day is. But one of the recent ones, I just want to use kind of an example. It has to do with some people feeling smart because they are fans of something, some other people feeling smart because they are complaining about the fans for feeling smart about something. And I'm going to take one step further back. And I'm going to complain about both those groups in a way that hopefully tries to help end the cycle a little bit. I realize you could easily take this one further and complain about me, complaining about them, complaining about them. Here's the idea. If you're smart, and I don't care whether you're a fan of something, whether you're writing hot takes and think pieces about people who are fans of something, there's people in both of those groups who are smart and who aren't. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. If you're smart, if you're intelligent, if you're a capable person, which doesn't always even mean smart or intelligent. Lots of capable people who are determined, do good things in the world, who don't have the highest whatever measures, scores, tests, whatever you care for. If you're capable, then this is my plea to you to do something with it to make the world better. To try to move the needle somehow in a way that helps other people. 2017, if you haven't noticed, has been a rough year for lots of folks. There's people without shelter, there's people without water, there's people without education, people without jobs, people without ways to provide for themselves and their family, people who are just whatever it is. People without a sense of security, people without a sense of acceptance, people with all kinds of needs that are pretty serious. And I don't want to do this thing where we're talking about first world problems. I think that's unproductive. I'm not trying to say it's not okay to be invested in things that are important to us. But part of what I try to do, just as an example, is to apply sort of the interest people have in entertainment, which acknowledging I spend a lot of mental energy things related to entertainment, but because it's ultimately about steering people towards practicing skills that I think are going to serve them well in life. It's about trying to make types of education more practical, more affordable. It's about trying to right some wrongs of steering people clear of dangers and risks I've seen take people out financially or leave people in debt or knock out their savings or derail people's lives in destructive ways, trying to form a safer, more reliable, consistent path for that. And that at the end of the day, if you are a smart, intelligent, capable person, find something that's broken and apply your intelligence to fix it. Nobody really cares if you sound smart because you're aware of an in-joke or because you watch a certain show or because you criticize people who watch a certain show or because whatever it is. Those are all about trying to get pats on the back. And pats on the back are only good for the most beginning level people who just need that kind of constant reinforcement. If you are capable of doing more than that, and people who aren't, whatever, they're going to do them. If you're capable of doing more than that, find a way you can make a lasting change. You can make a lasting improvement for some people. Whether it's 3 people, 5 people, 10, 20, 100, whatever it is, like any other skill in life, it's a thing which we tend to start small and snowball through experience trying to help others. I spent many years, I think my first time training people privately was just volunteering my senior year in college. Just worked with 4 different people one-on-one, helping them learn some game development stuff. I made some mistakes while I was doing that, but I learned in the process. I spent 8 months volunteering on weekends, just teaching groups of teens at a local shelter, just trying to get practice teaching, trying to help people who were in need. And that didn't scale well, right? That's not a lot of people, but it was practice towards, as I mentioned before, a lot of what I eventually could roll into my free video courses to help more people who otherwise couldn't afford that kind of help or that kind of education. And there are things which still to this day, the extent to which I do what I do as a business is because it partly helps me continue to support and grow the kinds and quality of things I can do to try to help more people in need. And this is not at all to try to pat myself on the back, because that's not the point. The point is an example of if you're capable of doing something more than bickering over things that don't matter, and I don't know how else to put that, then this is my plea to you to do that, to find some way to help others who are having real problems. This is, like I say, it's been a tough year for a lot of folks, and every year in history has been tough. I'm not trying to draw attention to any specific incident, but that there's lots of things that have left people in a bad spot. And I think it's worth asking yourself, are there ways you can leverage your skills, your passion, your energy, your attention, try to make things a little less crummy for other people who are having a rough time of it? Because we're all in this together. Anybody in the worst situations is, we share in the difficulty of those situations, and we all do better when we can find some way to help and support each other. So I realize it's a bit more of a somber message, but, that's really it for the day. It is maybe even going one step further than don't just, kind of absolve yourself from the situations by saying, I don't need to weigh on that. That was the advice of the day, and it's worth something, I think, to give yourself that time to allocate it is thinking about when allocating that time with some way, whether or not it pays well, whether or not it is what is highly esteemed, whether or not it is what has a reputation or brand attached to it, whatever, finding some way to reinvest some energy back into helping others who are less well off, less fortunate, less freedom in their lives, whatever it might be. I think there's a degree to which there's this tendency to dismiss or mock people that we, from our own experiences, might assess to be either just naive, noobish, inexperienced, dumb, you name it. And I think that the answer to that has to be, well, okay, here's the thing. If you actually do know better, then find some way to help them learn. Find some way to help fix those misunderstandings. Find some way to help improve their situation. Because otherwise, what's it getting you to know better? What's it getting you? What's it helping anything to know better when someone else doesn't, unless you somehow help make a case, improve their situation, improve their standing, improve their, or pull more into alignment, or in the process find out that maybe you're mistaken about some things and can further improve upon your understanding to further reinforce and help others. And I'm starting to ramble. But anyway, that's really it for the day. Thanks as always for tuning in. Pretty soon I'm going to be switching to those daily podcast episodes that I'm going to adapt some highlights here to YouTube. Might be able to fit one more in a daily YouTube video, but I'm going to be staying with my older brother. So we'll see it become trickier for me to fit in these recordings. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you all soon, and if I don't see you until after the honeymoon, then hope you have a great end of October. Bye for now.